In this video, I'm going to go over how I made this custom walk-in closet. I was going to buy a closet system at IKEA or Home Depot or someplace. I was looking at those, but they were going to be about $1,000 to make something similar. So for this, I used 3 chunks of plywood, and then obviously I got some hanger bars and some maple for the face boards. I've got the 2 upright shelves. One's at about 22 inches in width, and the other one's at about 16 inches in width. And the first thing I did to make this was rip cut the sides of those uprights. And those are going to be the same size boards that are going to be on the top shelf as well. So I've got 3 3/4 inch sheets of plywood, and they are maple veneer. And I rip cut those with a circular saw. I've got several short videos that I made during this project. Otherwise, this video would have been too long, and I do have a video on how I made that cutting guide as well. Anyway, I rip cut at 14 inches, and I've got 3 per sheet, so I got 9 of those sheets, which is more than enough. And I chose 14 inches in width because that is the maximum width that the sliding miter saw I got can effectively cut in one shot. So I did find that 14 inches is a decent depth for a closet. And now for the height on the side panels, I chose 6 feet. Now this is in a basement, so the ceiling is lower than most of my other ceilings, and maybe I would have went slightly higher if I wasn't in the basement. Even though I did use a cutting guide to cut all these, I did find there was some slight variation in the edging, so I just put them on a flat surface, clamped all the shelf sides together, and then just went over them with a sander with 180 grit just to level everything out. And then I do both sides with 180 grit as well before polyurethaning all the boards. Now, I do have a completely separate video on polyurethaning, so that'll be linked in the description. But as far as this project goes, I would say polyurethane added the most amount of time. And if you wanted to stain these as well, it would really increase the amount of time that doing a custom closet build like this would take. Because obviously you have to stain it, wait for it to dry, flip it over, stain it, and then do the polyurethane. So it is pretty time consuming just doing the finishing on these boards. So there are the 4 sides for the closet. And now because I'm making the drawers 22 inches wide, I am able to use the cutoffs from the uprights because obviously a sheet of plywood is 8 feet long and I use 6 feet. So there's more than 22 inches available. So that'll give me all of my shelving. One thing I would point out is I'm making fixed shelving on this, whereas if you get a closet system, it'll have adjustable shelving. For a lot of the supports, I'm just using 2 3/4 inch rip cuts, and that's just extra plywood that I had left over from the initial rip cuts. Because again, I was cutting 14 inches, so there is a little bit left over on a sheet of plywood. You can see right there, as I said, about 2 3/4 inch pieces of 3/4 to hold everything together. And I do use screws anywhere that I'm going to be able to hide them and cover them up, and that's just for increased strength. So I'm using 1-inch screws there. So you can see I did the 2 sides first, and then I did the frontage, even with the front of the cabinet, and then obviously I did a piece in the rear. I do use an 18 gauge nailer to put in all of the shelves, and I do the bottom shelf first. And you can see that I've taken a 4-inch solid piece of maple, and I'm going to use that to hide the plywood edge. And that's really all I'm doing with the maple solid boards, is hiding the plywood edge. I didn't cut any of the baseboard trim out when doing this project. Rather, I cut a notch out of the cabinet to fit around the trim. To make the next shelves, I'm going to go 16 inches and then 16 3/4. You can see I almost had a nail shoot out the back. So you got to be careful when shooting nails so that they don't blow out the front or back of your project. And I am using various rip cuts of maple ply. I had some 1/2 inch plywood on hand, so I just rip cut that down to, again, about 2 3/4 inch. And then I'm using that as well on the shelving unit. So you can see that I put the back supports for the shelves in already with the 3/4 inch, and those are all held in place by nails. So this is a 1x2 maple where I was doing some test colors to see how I want to do the front. In the end, I just used polyurethane. Now this is why I'm using the 1/2 inch maple. If I use a second piece of 3/4 inch, I found that it would peek out the side of the maple that I'm using to conceal the plywood edges. So that's why I went with 1/2 on the side supports for each of the shelves. So this is how I'm putting everything together. And for all the side supports, I do use 1-inch screws as well, and I do pre-drill everything. I found the solid maple to be pretty difficult to get these screws into. The plywood wasn't too bad, and honestly, I don't know that the plywood would have split, so I'm not sure if pre-drilling was actually necessary. Obviously, it makes it easier for the screws to go in, and again, I just didn't want to risk splitting anything. And basically, I work from the bottom up on all of the shelves. So just like the first one, I use wood glue. And then I'm going to use 18 gauge nails to hold everything together. I did find the bar clamps were pretty useful. I end up using 4 of them at various points, and basically it just helps pull everything together and make sure everything's nice and square throughout the process. Now to conceal this unsightly bottom piece, I'm just using a piece of solid maple. I'm going to glue it in place, and then I'm going to put screws in from the backside. So like I said, anywhere I could use screws and I could hide them, I did that, rather than shooting in brad nails from the front and creating a hole that I would have to fill later with wood filler. And for the most part, before assembling, everything was polyurethaned and ready to go. So again, all those shelves went in the same way, 1/2 inch plywood on the side, and then I put the shelf in and then glued the shelf down and nailed it. Now to fix it to the wall, I'm using 4 3/4 inch lag bolts, and I screw those lag bolts right through the rear supports on the shelf. So I marked out where a 2x4 stud was behind the drywall, and basically just went down the line, screwing the shelf into that 2x4 stud behind the drywall with those 4 3/4 inch screws. Now those screws aren't necessarily dead center on the boards, but that's okay. I didn't do a top one, so you can't really see them unless you get down on the floor. With the shelving unit fixed to the wall, I'm going to start doing these top shelves, and you can see that it's a little bit off, even though they were all made the same size. And that's because where the wood hits the corners in the drywall's built up a little bit from doing the corner mudding. And I did suspect that this was going to happen. So what I do on both sides is just cut a small wedge out of those corners so that they're going to fit a little bit more accurately against the drywall. So you can see with the top shelf in place, it's now sitting pretty flush. I do take it down one more time and do a good sanding on the front and back, and then that'll get everything in place. So after sanding the front and back edges, it's all lined up properly. And once again, I'm going to use the 3/4 inch plywood that was cut at 2 3/4 inch, and I'm going to nail that to the drywall studs behind, and that's going to hold up the shelf. So again, I had to mark out where the studs were, and rather than using 18 gauge nails, I went to a slightly larger nail, and I used 16, and those are 2 3/4 inch, so they do go pretty far into the wood studs behind. And once again, I did put some glue on the back of those boards before nailing them in place. I did do a separate video on how to install these closet rods, so I will link that in the description of this video as well. But basically I chose black closet rods, and for the location, I went 10.5 inches from the wall, and then I went 7 inches down from the shelf above. And then obviously there's 2 mounting brackets for the closet bars, and I got an 8-foot closet bar, so it's a solid bar, and I cut that down to size, and I inserted that into the closet end brackets. But like I said, I did do a separate video on that, and it is linked in the description. And that's what it looks like with the top shelf on. Now for the other cabinet, I made it exactly the same way. The only difference is because it's on a shorter wall, I made it 16-inch shelves as opposed to the 22-inch shelves. So I didn't record how I made that shelving unit. Now there's obviously a shelf going in the other direction up top, so I did have to cut that down to length so it would fit in that gap. And then once that was in, I did the side support here. That's obviously going to support both of those shelving pieces, and then I did the shelving supports on the other side. And just like the other one, I shot 16 gauge nails into the studs after I identified where the studs were. And one thing I did find is the glue does leak out, so you got to be careful that you don't have glue leak out once things are in place. And I did switch up to Gorilla Glue. For the top shelf, I did glue everything in place once again before shooting some 18 gauge nails into the shelving unit. And really the big thing I was looking for is to ensure that the 2 shelves line up nicely and that one isn't sitting higher than the other one, creating a bit of a lip. And just like everything else, 18 gauge nails, and I'm shooting them mainly along the backside where you can't really see them anyway, and into the supports that are holding up the shelf. And to support the front, what I'm using is pieces of 1x2. I glued and clamped them in place and then shot nails through them again using the 18 gauge nailer. And that really stiffened up the shelves so they didn't flex down anymore. And then to further reinforce the smoothness of that seam between the 2 pieces of plywood, I just took a 1/2 inch piece of ply, ripped it down, and then used it to stitch both of those pieces of plywood together. And again, I really wanted to ensure that the top of the shelf was nice and smooth, and putting that 1/2 inch piece of plywood in there tightened up the pieces of plywood that are making up the 2 top shelves. So like I said, for these 1x2s, I glued them, then clamped them in place, and used the 18 gauge nailer to nail them in place. One thing I found is that the 1x2s, in fact all the maple, was not particularly straight, so I couldn't just clamp the boards in place and fire the nails through blindly. I found that for most of them, I had to move the clamps around a little bit and push the board in different directions as I was nailing it to ensure that it lined up nice and straight along the front edge of the plywood, ensuring that it's not sitting back or sitting forward of the plywood edge. And where possible, I fired some nails into the sides of those 1x2s. And once again, I used a larger piece of maple to hide the plywood edge, as well as some of those more structural elements of the shelving unit. So use the glue, clamp the finished maple board in place, and I do a combination of nails and screws. So I do fire a few nails into the cabinet as well as the side supports. And then what I do is I run some screws through the 1x2 on the backside. So again, using 1-inch screws and obviously pre-drilling everything so I don't split any of the wood. And then, like I said, just running screws into it. So now it's got a couple of nails, it's glued in place, and each of these maple frontages have 5 or 6 screws holding them in place. Out of all the boards, I only had one split. I did have to go back and get another board, which is a bit of a bummer because the actual maple was pretty expensive. For the remainder of the frontages, I just cut them to size and then used a combination of glue and 18 gauge nails to hold everything in place. And I do put some angle brackets in. And I did go shopping for a few different angle brackets and how I could configure them. And this is what I came up with. And that's going to hold the front of the shelf in place. For the shelf frontages, I didn't put anything underneath the shelf in the front, but I do attach the maple 1x2s first by screwing them in place with those angle brackets. And then I do use some 18 gauge nails to ensure that they're also attached to the plywood shelf behind it. And overall, I think that that combination seems to be strong enough. I do have another video separately on wood filler. What I found with the locally available wood filler is that it was too light, and mixing sawdust in with it made a better color match. And the last thing I do once the wood filler is in is I sand just the frontage one more time with 320 grit sandpaper, and I do a final polyurethane on just the frontage of the cabinet, and that took out some of the high spots and low spots in the maple 1x2s and stuff like that, so everything is nice and smooth. Anyway, this is the final result on the walk-in closet I did. Hopefully this gives you some ideas on how you can make a similar closet. Thanks for checking out my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.